Hello all YouTubers, I am the Weather Dude. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for tuning back into this weather presentation for October 8th, 2019. I'm sorry it's been a while since I did my last video about the TI 84 Plus CE calculator and how to put games on it. Didn't quite do as well as I thought it would at all. But if you haven't watched it, please consider watching it, and if you have, consider sharing it with your friends. Because I thought it was a really nice, tech video. But we're back in weather today. And I can't wait to talk about what we're going to talk about today. 3 tropical threats in the Atlantic Ocean, 2 of them threatening the United States mainland. So let's get right into it. As always, as you know the drill, please subscribe, look in the description for other videos of mine, and please consider sharing. Okay, so these are the 3 tropical systems that we are tracking in the Atlantic Ocean right now. One that recently got bumped up to a 40% chance of development. That's off the southeast coast. This one off the mid-Atlantic coast has a 30% chance of development, and this one has been knocked down to a 40% chance. So this is Invest 91L over here that I'm highlighting, and it's a non-tropical system. It's just broke up of a front. It's gonna rotate around. It's gonna move westward. Probably not gonna be a threat anymore. Upper level winds are just gonna be too unfavorable for development. But I mean, if you happen to be like a cruise ship going out there, or consider being careful. Bermuda should probably still track the storm. Maybe it could cause some big waves, some gale force winds if it gets close enough. But we will be looking at the models as well. This one has a 40% chance, but that is up from the last time. It was at 10, so this is a really big jump. They are saying there's a small area of low pressure that has formed in association with a area of disturbed weather. It's near Charleston. This storm is producing tropical storm force winds. Actually, the winds are 40 miles an hour. It's just not quite. It has the wind power, okay, 40 miles an hour. Yes, it has tropical storm force winds. It's just the organization, the way it's developed on the satellite, isn't quite organized enough for it to be classified as an official tropical storm. But technically, you can call it a tropical storm because it has tropical storm force winds, and this is considered Invest 92L. And only a little small, just slightly further increase in development, and we could have a tropical depression or even a tropical storm tonight or even later today. On Wednesday, this storm is going to merge with another coastal low, so there's going to be some threats to the east coast. We can see a couple inches of rain, some high winds, and possibly not going to really be a flooding situation, but definitely it's going to be a wet time through the middle of this week or through the next few days. And these 2 storms are basically going to merge into one right here. So this guy right here is just gonna meander. It's like, hey, and then this one's gonna just zip on by, and they're gonna collide with each other, and then they're both gonna just slowly move around, meander. So this one has a 30% chance of development. Nothing's changed here. So probably it's gonna bring strong winds, some coastal flooding, and rough surf to portions of the Mid-Atlantic and northeastern United States coastlines through the middle and late week. If you go to weather.com here and pull up the little article. I really like when you do those little articles about the storm. If the video comes on, I'll try to shut the audio off because sometimes the video comes on by itself. But here it is at a glance. So low pressure will develop and linger off the east coast by midweek. This low will contribute. All right, let me shut the audio off. There we go. Okay. So this low will contribute to rough surf, rip currents, beach erosion, and coastal flooding in eastern seaboard. This low it will deepen. So I'm gonna be looking for a lot of beach erosion and coastal flooding and some rip currents, so don't want to be on the beach. And on the coast, near the coast, basically the I-95 quarter points east will probably get the worst of it. Rain and wind. There is a low chance it will be a hybrid subtropical depression, meaning like not quite tropical, but kind of. Basically is what it means. So this is kind of what I was trying to show here. You are in this green zone. Basically, the I-95 quarter points east. This is where this coastal storm will affect you. Locally heavy rain. It's going to be windy near the coastline, so in the same area it could be windy. Winds near 40-50 miles an hour at times, gusts. Rough surf, coastal flooding, and beach erosion. So let's name some cities here. Portland, Maine, Bangor, Maine, Bar Harbor, Maine. All places. In Maine, you can see some, troubles with this coastal storm. Parts of southern New Hampshire, Boston, Providence, and Rhode Island there, Hartford, Connecticut, coastal Connecticut, Worcester, Mass, New York City, Long Island, Philly, Washington D.C. not quite in the green zone. Could see a gusty, occasional wind gust, but maybe a brief, shower, but you're not quite in the, you're kind of more west on the I-95 corridor. So not quite you, but Philly or Wilmington, Delaware, Philly points north up the 95 corridor and points east of there. You'll be probably seeing the worst of it, and probably the storm, probably going to be seeing the storm itself. So, again, the southern part, this one right here, 40% chance. The yellow area is 30% chance of development. So, going to be something to watch out for there. Okay, so let's go to GFS model. GFS not really looking to, they're not really, saying it's going to do much. Maybe briefly bring some rain here, and it's going to more so move up the coastline. Okay, so just want to let that load, because I did want to show you one part from the end of this video. Okay, let's disable the audio real quick. What I wanted to show you is their depiction of the rainfall totals right here. Okay, so this will be pretty interesting. So as you can see, they're calling for like several feet of rain off the coast. I mean, that's way off the coast, so don't even pay attention to that. But you can see, 3 to 5, 5 to 7 inches in Nantucket, possibly. Thank goodness a lot of the rain will be off the coast. You can certainly pick up 1 to 3 inches of rain. Again, Baltimore, Wilmington, D.C., New York, Long Island especially. And even Providence could get 3 to 5 inches of rain. So, going to be something we need to watch out for. I'll be showing you different models as well. Alright. Stop playing. Come on. Thank you. Okay. GFS model, not looking too confident on this. Bringing a lot of rain to Connecticut and to Massachusetts. I certainly think that there is a possibility that the rain that we see here, because of the deepening of the storm, could wrap around. The more that storm deepens, the more that rain could wrap around the center. So that rain could get wrapped down again towards the I-95 corridor. That is a possibility. So let's look at the winds and the rain accumulations. And the European model is actually free on this, so it's really nice you can get European model, very premium weather model. Windy.com. So we're going to be showing you both systems here. Actually, all 3 systems, I should be saying. So system number 1 over here, not producing too much in the way of winds. Okay, actually, is there a way I could change this to miles per hour? Oh well. I can do it on the app, but I guess it's a little bit hard to do it here. But we are not quite seeing, so winds of 30 knots, it's like 35 miles an hour. So it's like kind of almost like what a tropical depression would do. But I mean, you can see something wrong with this here. I mean, like, we got all the winds on the west side. There's like literally like nothing on the east side where it should be. And especially on the northeast side, there's really nothing there either. So everything is on the north and west side, which is what happens with these potentially subtropical systems. All right, zooming in now. This is this system right here. I just showed you this one already. Now we're going to be focusing on this one, the yellow one. And this one I'm actually going to time out because of that, it's actually going to be significant. And on the eastern side, European model is trying to report winds of 33 knots as of 4 o'clock p.m. Let's actually go to 5 o'clock. 5. Nah, 6, why not? Okay, really nothing's changed. So, winds of 33 knots, wind gusts, I'm assuming it's going to be way higher than that. Yes, they are. Okay, wind gusts, we're talking about like past 50 miles an hour with the storm already. It's not really strengthening or deepening yet. And the winds are like traveling down the coast, down the Atlantic, like this. So it's pushing all that water, Virginia Beach and Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. But for places like the Jersey, Delaware shores, still seeing some coastal flooding, but it's moving like more down the coast. But it would really suck if you live on the Delaware side of the Delaware Bay, because you're getting all that water shoved in. So I mean, that's really gotta hurt if you live there. But let's time this out. Okay, the wind gusts first. So you can see, just really going to get its act together, according to the European model. We're talking about wind gusts passing 60, maybe approaching 65 at this point. But I mean, that's all that is way offshore. But still, overnight Wednesday, again, just look at the storm itself. This thing is really going to deepen. I mean, now we're talking about hurricane force wind gusts off the shore. So this storm has a large wind field, so it's going to radiate a lot of its energy outwards. So when you look at the National Hurricane Center here, if this one, these are both going to collide here. We know this. Okay. So if this has a 40% chance, so is this, because they're actually going to be one system. So you can almost add up the percentages, I guess, and say it's 70% chance, but don't really do that. You could just kind of say these both have a 40% chance of development because they're both going to collide. if they weren't going to collide, you would say like this would be a 30 and this would be a 40 because that's what it actually says. But anyway, going back to windy here, and you can see it could be hurricane force winds as it pulls away from shore. We're going to be looking at the rainfall totals, but as of right now, the European model looks to be calling for about an inch of, maybe more than an inch of rain in Philly to Baltimore or Bel Air, Maryland. And they're really focusing a lot of the rain now up in Cape Cod, which, I mean, kind of need rain down here. Come on. Anyway, but yeah, 6 inches of rain is certainly a possibility. GFS really going under with this, like nothing for the Mid-Atlantic, and just send it all up to New England. More than 7 inches of rain, which is a lot. NAM model not really quite too far out yet to be able to tell. It only goes out about 60 hours. So this is Invest 91L. This is the one that the National Hurricane Center says here. This is 91L. That's just all the way out to sea between Bermuda and the Azores. So not really focused on this one too much. This does actually have winds of 45 miles an hour right now. Yes, it's a tropical storm, but just look at this. There's literally like no convective activity whatsoever. If any of the convective activity is all the way over here. This is the storm center. So really nothing associated with this. It's going to continue on the westward path. Maybe if it gets close up to Bermuda, could it produce some larger waves? Sure, but nothing. I mean, look at the radius of circulation. 210 nautical miles. Okay, I'm not really good at the conversion, but if you do nautical miles to miles here, and you plug it in, okay, there we go. That's 241 miles. So the circulation is 241 miles round. Like, that is super wide. It's not becoming even a closed low. Like what I just circled here, that's probably the whole center of circulation. That's how broad it is. So 210 nautical miles, about 241 miles. That's a lot. And the pressure is not that really low either. 1008 millibars. Nothing to brag about, that's for sure. So, I mean, this is probably as strong as it's going to get. Could it get to 45, 50 mile an hour winds? Sure. But over the next couple of days, this is probably going to weaken to a tropical depression. None of the models are having confidence in this thing anymore, and I'm not really having confidence myself either. Oops. That was an accident. Okay, no problem. Easy fix. Anyway, so now let's go to Invest 92L. This one has 40 mile per hour winds, which, yes, is technically classified as a tropical storm. This has weaker winds. This is not the one. This is 92L, not this one. I mean, they're both going to combine. So you don't need to name this one 93L because they're both going to combine. So 92L that I'm looking at right now is this area in the orange right there. Okay? And what's funny is this has the same exact pressure as the other storm did, and this has weaker winds. So you can tell this is really going to develop into something here. 1008 millibars, and the radius of circulation is about 100, you could say like 105, 110 miles. Probably about right. But near 100 miles from the center, so better closed circulation. Again, winds are at 40 miles an hour right now. The models are definitely showing a rise in the increasing in the winds. But the only reason they're saying it's going to trail off is because that's at the point where it's going to combine with the other system. So it's really going to be all one storm eventually. Okay, track the tropics here. Okay, you don't need that slide. Actually, yes, we do. Okay, so if you scroll down, tropical intensity index, not too much heat in the ocean, really. 850 millibar velocities, you can see they're even starting to connect right now. It's kind of like becoming a little elongated. This guy is really trying its best to deform. It's becoming more circular than it used to be. And look at this. Even energy trails down to southern Florida and even out in the Gulf still. So, I mean, this is just like one elongated piece of energy. And this one's becoming better circulated. But still, could still form. 700 millibar energy, okay, pretty much telling the same thing. Okay, you see this one's becoming a lot more circular than it used to be. Alright. Now, let's look at this one. So, this is the 700 millibar spin and also the dry air maps. So you can see we got a little bit of dry air on the eastern side trying to wrap into that storm. There's some dry air coming off of Africa. Dry air over here and in here, but no dry air in the Gulf of Mexico. Most of the tropical Atlantic doesn't have any dry air either. But look at Invest 92L. Really starting to get some spin, some colors here with that spin. And this spin could even make it towards the coastline and produce it. What I can say is that anywhere from Maine down to Maryland. You're probably, as long as you live Maine to Maryland, I-95 corridor to the shoreline, I'm probably going to guarantee at least 3/4 of an inch to an inch of rain at the very least, probably so. Because, I mean, just look at how wide this storm is. This thing's going to have a big wind field. I mean, that's not the wind field itself, but the storm will have a pretty large wind field. Let's put it that way. Alright, finish off with cyclonic vortices from GFS model. And you can see, we do have some cyclonic energy available, so probably going to be, you know, raining cats and dogs out there. Worst hit spots are probably going to be Nantucket, Boston, Rhode Island, coastal Connecticut, and also Long Island. So, basically coastal New England, excluding out Maine and New Hampshire. Coastal New England, so coastal Massachusetts, coastal Rhode Island, coastal Connecticut, and Long Island, probably going to be the worst hit by the storm as it will deepen, meander for a few days, and by probably, I am assuming by the weekend and into early next week, this thing will be out of here and into Halifax and going up into Newfoundland and Canada and out of our lives. Thank goodness. Although some areas need the rain. So, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video and stay tuned for the next one. And real quick, actually, just for kicks, I want to look at the drought monitor, see which places are might, you know, want to see this storm very much. So I know I'm certainly wanting the rain down here. Alright, let's go to Climate Prediction Center, drought monitor. Let's actually see real quick which places need the rain. So yeah, actually parts of, you know, I-95, Massachusetts down to Maryland, you guys do need the rain, so there you go. Okay, and the drought over my area is only going up. Now, it was actually going down, and now I'm back in a moderate drought. Wow, you're kidding me. You're kidding me, right? Okay, moderate drought. And even for Maryland as well. So, DC up to Philly got a moderate drought, so come on, rain. Hopefully, this storm will shift farther west, and hopefully we can get some more of those rain bands, which is certainly possible depending on the steering flow. So, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoy. Next video of mine will probably be a weather one, so, which is good. So, thank you guys for watching. I am the Weather Dude, signing off. Till next time.